we're going to look at one of the new IELTS questions for September, and that's the part 1 question about bikes. If we're talking about bikes, you could use the word bike or bicycle or cycle. Then you also need to think about the different types of bike: a mountain bike, a road bike, a racing bike, an e-bike. All of those could qualify as different types of bike. The first question that you're asked is, do you have a bike now? This might seem like a yes-no question, but you obviously need to add a few more details. So you can talk about what kind of bike you have, what you do with it, and where you store it. For example, yes, I do have a bike now. I keep it in my garage next to my car, and I tend to use it every day when I want to go to my university. The second question is, do you often ride a bike now? You should already have a vocabulary to answer those do you often do something questions. For example, on a daily basis, more often than not, from time to time, once in a blue moon. You could also talk about why you ride it frequently or not very frequently. So maybe the weather makes it difficult to ride a bike. Maybe you have to travel too far, so riding a bike would take you far too long. Maybe you're worried because it's dangerous, there are too many cars on the road. Or maybe you ride a bike more often now because it's more environmentally friendly, maybe it's cheaper, maybe it's more convenient. So remember to explain how often you ride it and why you ride it. The next question is, did you have a bike when you were young? Here, don't just repeat the phrase when I was young. You can say during my childhood, when I was a teenager, when I was at primary school, when I lived at home, something like that. So you might say, for example, I used to ride a bike every single day when I was in primary school. The other way that you can talk about repeat habits is to use the word would. So for example, when I was a teenager, I would ride my bike every weekend. So used to and would can both be used to describe a past habit. The next question is, are bikes popular in China now? You don't want to repeat the word popular. You might say, for example, well-liked, very fashionable, much sought after, or maybe they are a prized possession. Maybe you want to say that they're not so popular, so perhaps they are obsolete, old-fashioned, gathering dust. You could also use a comparison here. You could say, yes, bicycles are much more popular than they were in the past. Or nowadays, people use bicycles far more often than they did a generation ago.